Hello students, welcome. My name is Mohammad Khalid and I'll be teaching you physics for this class. So let's start with the first chapter, that is matter. First let us see which are the topics that we are going to cover in this chapter. Those are matter, what is matter and what are its basic characteristics that we will be discussing in here. What are the characteristics of solid, liquids and gases? Then the distinguish properties, that how can we differentiate between solids or liquid or gases. What are the basic properties from which we can distinguish, that will be discussing in this topic. Okay, so basically this chapter will cover three topics, that is about matter, what is matter and what is matter and what is its characteristics or properties, that how can we define a matter. Then we will come to the topic characteristics of solid, liquids and gases, and after that we will see how can we distinguish, how can we differentiate between these phases. Okay, so let's start with the first point, that is matter. So how do we define matter? Let's see, anything that has some mass. Point, note this point, that anything that is having some mass and it occupies some space. Okay, two important points are there, that whatever we are about to define as matter, that must have a mass and it have to occupy some space. What does this mean, that it has to occupy some space? That if suppose that if we are using a suppose that we are using a glass. Okay, let's see, we have a water glass which is empty right now. This is your glass. Okay, now if you hold a glass, what do you feel? If you hold it, then we see that it is having some mass, है ना? It is having some mass. We feel it light or heavy accordingly, like different types of glasses we compare them, then some of them are light, some of them are heavy. These can be compared because they have some mass, है ना? Either it will be heavier or it will be lighter, heavier or lighter. This depends because the mass of the glass is heavier. If it is heavier, then mass of the glass will be more, and if it is lighter, then it will be less. So suppose that if we are considering a glass of mass 200 of mass 200 gram, let's say 200 gram, and another glass of mass 250 gram, so we will say this one is lighter and this one is heavier. So it means the glass is having some mass. So our first property regarding matter, it is matching with our criteria. Now suppose we have to check whether it occupies some space or not. Now you have seen that whenever you place a glass, on a rack, suppose that let's make a rack. Suppose that this is your kitchen rack. Okay, this is your kitchen rack, and on this rack you have to place, on this rack you have to place a glass, or you have to organize all these things. Suppose that you have to organize your utensils. Then how do we do that? For this purpose we put the glass over here like this. But if you place one glass on the let's say this is position first. Okay, let's say it is position first. Now the first glass is held, kept at position first. Now can we put another glass over here? Can we put? No, because another glass can't be put here because it is already occupying the space that is in this region. It is already occupying the space. So what we have to do, we have to place the another glass nearby this one, है ना? Nearby this one. And if we are going to place third glass, then we have to place the third glass nearby that one also, so that we know that the second glass is also occupying some space. So this means the glass is occupying some space. These glasses are occupying some space. So first property was that these things have to have some mass. So glasses are having some mass, and also it occupies some space. These, here we can see that it is occupying some space. So we can say that this glass is a matter. What we can say, this glass is a matter. Glass is a matter. But glass is a matter, so only can we we can say only these things about glass only, or we have anything else also. Like suppose that we are taking, we are pouring some water in this glass. Let's say we have poured some water in this glass. So can we say that this water is also matter or not? Can we say? We can say that after judging some points, first what we have to calculate, we have to check whether the object is having mass and it is occupying space or not. These two are the criteria. Let's see one by one. If we have poured some water, if we have poured some water, if we have poured some water, then we see that the glass feels heavy. It feels heavy as compared to empty glass, as compared to empty glass. What does this mean? When we pour some water in the glass, when we pour some water in the glass, it becomes heavy. That means the mass of the glass is increasing. This means the mass of the glass is increasing. So if the mass is increasing, that means we have added some extra mass in the glass. It only means that something is becoming heavier. That means we have added some extra mass. And what we have added? We had added water in this glass. That means water is also having some mass. Obviously, this is obvious thing that if we are adding the water in the glass, glass is becoming heavy. That means water is also having some mass. So first point we have cleared that water is having some mass. Another thing is it, whether it occupies some space or not. So let's see. We have filled this water up to this level. We have filled this water up to this level. So up to this level, up to this level, can we put more water in this region only? Can we put more water? No, we can't, because up to this height already water is present. Up to this height already water is present. So if we have to put more water, it will increase the level of the water. It will only increase the level of the water. That means water is also occupying some space. It is also occupying some space. So that means water is also having some mass and it is occupying space. Then we can say water is also a matter. But water as compared to glass is a liquid. Water is a liquid. Water is a liquid and glass was a solid. Glass was a solid. So we have seen that glass, which is solid, water, which is liquid, these two are also matters. These two are also considered as matter. So matter can be categorized, basically it exists in three phases, three states, which are known as solid, liquid and gases. Solid, liquids and gases. We have seen that first with this example we have seen that glass, which is solid, is also known as matter. Water, which is liquid, is also known as matter. And about gases we will see in upcoming activity. What, whether the gas is a matter or not, we will see it in upcoming activity. Okay, let's move to the next topic. So this is the same thing that we have discussed right now, that whether a liquid or water is having some mass and it occupies or space or not. For that purpose we have taken an empty glass. First of all, we have taken an empty glass, and this is our jug from which we are pouring some water, and this was the empty glass, but it is now partially filled glass. This has become partially filled glass, partially filled glass. Now what we are doing, we are adding some water. After adding some water, we have seen that the glass has become heavy, it has become heavier, and also the water has occupied some space, has occupied some space. So we can say water is also a matter. This thing we have already discussed in the previous slide. Okay, let's move to next topic. Let's say what are the matter made up of. What are the matter made up of? So matters are made up of very tiny particles, very tiny. When if you will break a glass, if you will break a glass, we can see that some chunks of the particles, small particles of the glasses are there, but if you will try to break them also, it will keep on breaking until unless there is a limit that further this limit we can't break it anymore. So that is the smallest unit, that is the smallest unit, that is the tiniest particle. That from that, after that, we can't simply break it like that only. Okay, so that particle is known as atom. That is the atom. So what is atom? We will say matter is made up of very tiny particles which are independent, and these are stable in nature. Okay, these must be, atoms are basically stable tiniest particle. Okay, so these are the smallest unit having matter which is stable in nature also. So atoms are stable, but some atoms simply we can't find single atom. Like for gases, we can't find, most of the time we can't find single atom. If we are looking for a single oxygen atom, no, we can't find it. So what they do, they combine two or more oxygen atoms, combine to form a molecule. What do they form? They form a molecule. Suppose that this is a this is an oxygen atom, and this is another oxygen atom. Okay, we have taken two oxygen atoms. So when they will combine, they will become a molecule. They'll become a molecule. Got it? They'll become a molecule. When we combine two oxygen atoms, they will become one molecule of oxygen. One molecule of oxygen. So it is not necessary that we have to add only two molecules. We can add many molecules accordingly. Like for nitrogen, we don't have to we need three atoms. Got it? And for some inert gases like helium, it doesn't mean it doesn't need any more atoms. So what is this? Matter is made up of tiny particles which are known as atoms. These atoms are the smallest unit that are present in the nature, which is stable. And also, if atoms do not have independent existence, then they combine with each other and form a molecule. Okay, now we have in previous slides, in this slide we were checking whether we have left this option, na? whether gases are some matter or not, we can consider the matter or not. So this thing we are going to discuss in the upcoming slide. in this slide. Okay, suppose that we are having a Bisleri water which is empty. This Bisleri water bottle is empty. This is a plastic water bottle. Okay, we have drank all the water and we have put a cap on it. Now we can see that air is inside the bottle. We can't see actually, but we feel it that if it is not crushed, then air is present in the empty space. Okay, now if you put it into the bucket of which is filled with water, if you will pour it and tilt it, then what will you see? You will see some are bubbles are coming out of the bottle. Some bubbles, these bubbles are generated from where? If there was nothing in this bottle, then from where these bubbles are coming? It's not correct that there was nothing in this bottle, but we have seen there is air or some gas was there. And when we put when we put this bottle into the water, then this gas is coming out and water is rushing into the water bottle. So water starts filling in this bottle and the same volume of gas is coming out in the form of bubbles. So this also represents that the air is also having some mass and it is also occupying some space. So we can say that air is also a matter. Air is also a matter. It it's simply not limited to airs but to any gas. If we are considering gas, to for any gas which are present, gases are also considered matter. These are considered matter. Got it? So we have seen what is a matter and what are the types of matter, what are its basic properties, means what are the basic characteristics that we have to check. So these things we have discussed in this slide, in this video lecture, and in upcoming lectures we will do some exercise, some practical exercise, and after that we will move on the next topic. Okay, till then, thank you.